we're going to pay a little bit of attention to posture today. So what I want you to do is stand with your feet hip width apart, but stand like you're waiting in a queue. So as if you were really bored, it's actually just like your normal posture. So you might find that you're a bit rounded in the shoulders or your bottom sticking out, a lot, big arch in that lower back. So then we're going to go into our neutral posture just to see how different that can feel. So keeping the knees nice and soft as always, we're just going to rock the weight forwards over the balls of the feet just to get that core engagement going on, making sure weight's nice and evenly distributed. Just forwards and backwards. Let's just go for one more of those. Engaging through that core, maintaining that core engagement, coming back to center. We're then going to find our neutral pelvis. So just slightly squeeze the tailbone between the legs, engaging through the glutes there, and then arching forward. So rocking forwards and backwards. And then we're just going to find neutral, so somewhere in between those two movements, slightly tucking that tailbone under, which can feel quite unusual. And then we're just going to draw up through the pelvic floor. So just engaging, lifting up through that pelvic floor. Everything around the middle feels nice and tight, like we're wearing a corset. Crown of the head up towards the ceiling, so spine's nice and tall. And let's just bring the shoulders up, down, and back. Keeping that nice, strong spine. Try not to arch through the back. Let's go for one more big shoulder roll. Sliding those shoulders down and back. Let's take a deep inhale breath. We're going to bring the arms up towards the ceiling. And then when we're up at the ceiling with the arms, keeping that core switched on, we're just going to lean backwards, extending through the spine. And exhale, sliding the ribs back towards the hips. Let's go again. So inhale, breath, leaning in backwards. Oh, now opening up the front of the body. That feels really nice. Exhale it through. And last one. Inhale it back. And exhale it back to center again. Shortening those abdominals as we come back. Grabbing hold of the hand or wrist, leaving the hips above the feet. We're just going to take it into a nice side bend stretch, lengthening through the side of the body there. Try not to jut the hip out there. Keep those hips above the feet. And then exhale as we drive it back up through the center, grabbing hold of the other hand as we just gently pull. Lengthening through the side of the body there, lovely. Exhale, bring it back to center. And relax the arms down to the side. Work a little bit of rotation now, so just bringing the arms out to about 45 degrees. Trying to keep the hips to the front. We're just going to gently rotate through the spine. Just let gravity take the arms. Just warming up the spine. And then we're just going to start to slow that down. Allowing the arms to come back to center. Back down to the sides of the body with the arms. Shoulders stay down and back. Let's take it into our roll down now. So again, feet like the number 11, knees nice and soft, pelvis in neutral, so slightly tucked under with that tailbone. Inhale, breath as we exhale. Chin comes towards the chest. We bring those shoulders forwards and just start to roll the spine down, working that C curve of the spine. Keeping the tummy button lifted up towards the spine as we roll it down. And we're going to go as far as we can until the hamstrings tell us to stop, or the lower back tells us to stop. Relaxing through the head. Just give the head a gentle nod. A little bit of a shake. No. Just making sure there's no creases in the back of the neck there. Take a nice deep inhale breath as we exhale. We're drawing the tummy away from the thighs. Tummy button up towards the spine as we roll back out. Just let the arms dangle as we come back up. Roll it back up nice and slowly, one vertebrae at a time. And then reset the shoulders. Let's go down again. So take an inhale breath. As we exhale, chin comes towards the chest. Imagine we're peeling the spine away from a brick wall behind us. So one vertebrae at a time, rolling it down, keeping those knees nice and soft. And at the bottom, we're flopping, like we're dangling over a tree branch here. So no creases in the back of the neck, just let everything feel nice and heavy. We're then going to lock the knees out. So you might not be at the floor with the hands. We're going to lock the knees, straightening out through the legs. Feel that stretch a little bit more in the back of the legs now. Just hold it there. And then we're going to bend through the right knee, leaving the left leg straight. We're going to bring the right hand over to the outside of the left ankle or leg, wherever you are on the leg there, and just reach that left arm up towards the ceiling. Don't take the arm beyond the shoulder there, so just rotating through that thoracic spine. And then bring it back down. To do the same on the other side. So we're going to straighten out through that right leg. Left hand comes over to outside of the right ankle, bending through that left knee as we reach up towards the ceiling. Ceiling there. And then bring it back to center again. Take a nice inhale breath, soften through the knees, take an inhale breath as we exhale, scoop the tummy, pushing up into the spine as we roll back up, roll back out. Nice and slow. Reaching the top, big shoulder roll, shoulders down and back, and then we're going to make our way down to the mat. We're going to tabletop, so coming towards the end of our mats, staying feet stay hip width apart, rather knees stay nice and soft, pelvis is in our neutral position, arms down to the side of the body. Let's take them up into a full body stretch. Nice inhale breath as we reach the arms up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, we're folding from the hips, pushing that weight back over the heels into our tabletop. We're going to hold tabletop for 3 breaths. Imagine we're balancing that tray of drinks on the spine. You should have a really nice stretch into the back of the legs there. 3, 2, and 1. Knees soften as we bring the hands down towards the floor. And we're going to walk it out. We're going to come down to the mat, walking it out. We're going to come down to all fours to begin with today. So wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath the hips. So bringing the knees down to the floor. We're going to find neutral with the shoulders and the pelvis in this position now. So let's just do a couple of cat stretches. And so pushing up into the spine, scooping the tummy button up, and then we're going to lower down. We're going to start to squeeze the shoulder blades together. We're concentrating on shoulders here, so squeezing the shoulder blades and then parting the shoulder blades as we push up. So we want to be somewhere in the middle of those 2 movements. So bringing the shoulders into a nice neutral position. Just to make sure we're engaging through the shoulders, you can come up onto the fingertips here. Just feel the strength there into the shoulder, and then bring the palm of the hand back down onto the floor. So tailbone's going to be slightly tucked under, not quite up into cat stretch, but slightly tucked under, just lessening that arch in the lower spine. As we inhale, we just to really relax the tummy, and as we exhale, just draw the tummy button up towards the spine, lifting through that pelvic floor, and then inhale, release. So nice and gentle, exhale, scoop, lift up through that pelvic floor, inhale, release the tummy button down towards the floor. So just relaxing through the belly, exhale, we scoop it up, nice tight corset, and inhale, release. So that's level 1, if you want to carry on with that. Level 2, making it a little bit harder, we're going to step out into plank. So we're going to reach the right leg back, and still imagine balancing that tray of drinks on the lower back, and then left leg. So really feel that core switch on, and then step it back, knees come back underneath the hips. So we're just walking it out into plank hold, out, out, in. You can see there's no movement there. That looks nice, Jill. That's it. So balancing that tray on that back. That's it, perfect. So that's level 2. Level 3, we're going to walk it out into plank, and we're going to stay in plank. Again, keeping that tray of drinks balanced on the spine, and we're just going to rock the shoulders over the wrists and then push back into the heels. So it's a rock forwards, and then push it back. Feeling a nice stretch into the calf there. Engaging through the glutes if we're into full plank 2, full body. Let's go for 3 more. 1, 2, and last one, 3. Back to plank, and then bring the knees down onto the mat nice and gently. So sit back into the heels, take it into child's pose, really lengthen through the arms, lengthen through the spine there. Give yourself a quick breather, nice deep breaths, a nice deep inhale breath through the nose, and a nice exaggerated exhale breath. Really focus on the exhale breath, really noisy exhale breath. And then just bring the hands down to the side of the feet, palms facing up towards the ceiling, and just let the forehead fall down onto the mat. Right, we're going to come down, I think, what we're doing next, into some ab work. So we're going to lie down on our backs and concentrate a little bit here on neutral pelvis and imprint pelvis. So feet should be hip width apart, head and shoulders down, collarbones nice and wide, so shoulders in neutral. So you'll find that you've probably got a little bit of an arch in the lower spine there. What we want to do for neutral pelvis is hip bones and pubic bone on the same level. So if you put the palm of your hand onto the hip bone and fingertips onto the pubic bone there, they should be at the same level. If we're going to imprint, we're going to lift the pubic bone, pushing that lower back down into the floor, and then take it back to neutral. So working in neutral or imprint, neutral's a lot harder to maintain than imprint. Imprint protects that lower spine. So we're going to attempt to start in neutral today. If you feel it in the lower back or you feel the spine lifting, go back to our imprint. So we're going to start in neutral. So there's a slight gap between the lower back and the mat. We're going to lift the first leg up into tabletop position. So 90-degree angle in the hip, 90-degree angle in the knee, and then exhale, second leg comes up to tabletop position. So we're in that neutral spine position. If you're feeling this in the lower back, push that lower back down into the floor. Safe option. If you're feeling adventurous, try neutral. We're just going to work single leg stretch. So arms are going to come up towards the ceiling, palms facing, shoulders anchored down. We're going to exhale as we lengthen one leg out, and then inhale as we bring it back to tabletop. So it's an exhale as we lengthen, reach, really stretch out through that leg, and inhale it back. Perfect. Exhale away, keeping that slight gap between the mat and the lower back there. If you're feeling it in the lower back, imprint. Safe option. Let's keep that going. Let's go for one more on each side. Exhale away, because that's when it becomes hard. Inhale it back. So we're always exhaling on the hard bit and inhaling as we come back to center. We're now going to bring the arms in as well into our dead bug exercise. So as the left leg travels away, the right arm is going to come behind the head. So we're going to lengthen the arm behind the head and then back to our start position. Exhale, reach, core switched on, inhale it back. Let's just keep that going. Exhale away and inhale, return. Let's go for two more on each side. Exhale, lengthen, reach, reach, reach. Inhale it back. Exhale away. Inhale it back. Last ones. Reach and return. Lovely. Exhale away. Inhale it back. Well done. Let's go for both legs now. If that's too much, go back to one leg at a time or go back to dead bug. It's entirely up to you. So we're going to reach the legs, both legs stay together. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale it back. So now might be the time when you want to turn it to imprint that spine. If you feel it in the lower back, we feel that spine lifting up. Exhale, reach. Inhale it back. We can have the arms in as well, so we can exhale the arms behind the head. Then inhale, exhale, and then inhale it back to center. Exhale, reach. Inhale it back. Let's go for 3 more. Reach. And return. Last 2. Really reach with those legs. And last one. Exhale, lengthen. And inhale, return. Well done. Bring the knees in towards the chest. Have a little roll around on that lower back. And then we're going to bring the feet down to the floor, working towards the top of the abdominals now. So we're going to bring the hands behind the head, interlinking the fingers, and just do a little bit of ab prep before we come all the way up. So we're going to take an inhale breath, bringing the chin in towards the chest. As we exhale, we're going to lift up through the head and shoulders, nice and high. See if we can get the whole shoulder blade up from the mat. We're going to inhale as we hold, and exhale, return back down to the mat. Let's go again. So exhaling up, inhale, hold, and exhale it back down to the mat. So this is just prep work. Exhaling up, quite boring, but makes the correct muscles do their job, and then bring it back down. We're going to stay up on this next one, exhaling up. So you'll notice the spine wants to imprint here. That's absolutely fine. We're going to bring one leg at a time up into tabletop position. We're going to go back to our single leg stretch. So we're going to lengthen through and lengthen away, and then bring it back to center. Keeping the head and shoulders up from the mat. Just allow the head to fall into the hands. Try not to pull up on the neck. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. Lovely. We're going to turn this into crisscross now. So as we lengthen away the right leg, we're going to bring the elbow over towards that left knee. So really rotating through that thoracic spine. Inhale it back to center. Exhale, twist. Make sure we are twisting that upper back, and there's not, the arms aren't just twisting around, the whole body is coming up and over. So I want you to imagine there's a piece of string from the rib towards the opposite hip. We're shortening, and then inhale, coming back to center. Let's keep it going. Exhale it up, inhale it down. Exhale, you can bring the head all the way down in the center if you want to, just to get that little bit of a release. We're going to go for 2 more on each side. Exhale it up. Inhale it down. Exhale up. Inhale lower. Last ones. Inhale it back. Last one. Exhale, twist. And inhale it back. Well done. Allow the knees to fall into the chest again. Have a little roll around on that lower back. We're then going to go back to oblique work by working spine twist. So bringing the feet down to the floor, feet hip width apart again. We're going to imprint the spine here. So we're going to lift the pubic bone higher than the hip bones, imprinting that lower back down into the mat. Ribs have slid down towards the hips, so a nice short distance there between ribs and hips. Bringing the arms out to the side, level with the shoulders, palms facing up towards the ceiling. We're then going to bring the first leg up into tabletop position. Core switched on, second leg comes up. Zipping knees and feet together for this one. Level 1, both legs stay in tabletop. We're going to inhale as we rotate down to one side. Rotating through that lower spine. Exhale as we bring the knees through the center. Level 2, as we go down to the right side, left leg reaches up towards the ceiling, just adding a little bit of weight into that lever, making sure both shoulder blades stay down in the floor, switching the legs in the center. That's it, lovely. Level 3, both legs up. So make sure you work at your level. If you need to rest, just bring those knees in towards the chest if it's too much. Inhaling it down. Exhale it through. Perfect. Lovely, Julie. Nice, Mum. Try to keep the knees and legs zipped together if we're in level 1 and 2 and level 3. Nice, Jill. Let's go for one more to each side. Inhale it down, exhale as we pull those legs through. And then finally, last one, inhaling down, exhale it back to center. Well done. Again, just allow the knees to fall into the chest, give those abdominals a little rest, little roll around there on the lower back. And then we're going to take it up into scissors next. So again, pop the feet down on the floor. Again, we can try to work from in neutral position for level 1. So again, pubic bone and hip bones on the same level. You can have a little check in there, making sure, engage through the core, ribs are slid down towards the hips. We're going to lift one leg at a time up into tabletop position. So as long as the head and shoulders are on the floor, we can try to keep in that neutral spine. So we're just going to toe tap. If you pop your thumb on your bottom rib, finger on the hip, just to make sure that the length isn't increasing as the leg goes down. We're keeping those nice short abdominals there. Level 2, we can lengthen through the legs. Scissoring, straight legs, just making sure that the ribs and hips stay at the same distance. Nice, lovely. Level 3, when the head and shoulders come up, we're imprinting that lower spine. We're going to add that gentle leg pull at the top. So grabbing hold of the leg either above or below the knee. Try not to grab behind the knee. So nice, slow, controlled scissors. Keep breathing, don't hold the breath. Have a little play around where the legs are crossing. The lower they are to the floor when they cross, the harder you're going to work that core. Lovely. Nice, Abby. Getting really nice stretch into the hip there as we widen out through the legs. Let's go for 2 more to each side. And last ones. And then relax the head and shoulders down. Hug those knees in towards the chest. Have a little roll. Whew. And then we're going to give the core a little bit of a rest as we bring the feet down to the floor. We're going to work shoulder bridge now. So bring the feet a little bit closer towards the bottom. So again, here we should have a neutral spine. So there's maybe a little gap underneath the lower back there between the back and the mat. We're going to imprint the spine. So let's just do a couple of pelvic rolls. So as you notice, as we imprint, you should start to engage through the glutes. You should feel the glutes start to work. So all we're doing here is going from imprint to neutral. We're going to bring the arms up towards the ceiling, palms facing, just carrying on doing those pelvic tilts. On the next one, as we imprint, really focus on the glutes, lifting up the body here. So peeling the spine up from the mat. You should feel this in the glutes. Perhaps you might start feeling it in the hamstrings a little bit here. Glutes can be lazy. And then just rolling it back down, 1 vertebrae at a time. So we're really trying to articulate through the spine as we roll back down. So it's an exhale, tilt and peel. Squeeze the hips up. Not too high, just so a nice straight line from knee to shoulder. And then start to roll it back down. If you are feeling in the hamstrings a little bit here, we can bring the heels together. So the toes are, so the feet are in a shape of a V. Slightly bring the knees out to the side like frog's legs. And then just try to shoulder bridge again. You should feel it a little bit more in the glutes there. So squeeze those hips up towards the ceiling. Squeeze the bum cheeks together. And then slowly lower it back down. Let's keep that going. Exhale, tilt. And peel, squeeze those hips up. Keep that tailbone tucked under. Just isolate those glutes a little bit more by bringing those knees out to the side. Exhale it up. Really use the bottom to lift the body there. Make sure the ribs aren't sticking out. We're in that nice straight line at the top. And then bring it back. Nice and slow. Let's go one more time. So we're going to stay up in shoulder bridge here. So squeeze those hips up. Squeeze the bottom. We're going to inhale as we bring the arms out to the side. Slowly lowering the arms at the same speed. And then exhale as we bring the arms back up towards the ceiling. Keep squeezing those glutes. Inhale as we open up that chest. And exhale as we squeeze back together. Let's go for 3 more. Exhale, squeeze. Last 2. Last 1. Inhale, open up that chest. Exhale, bring the arms back at the same speed. Take an inhale breath and then exhale. Really try to lengthen the spine down along the mat, 1 vertebrae at a time. You might find it difficult when we come to the lower spine, just to articulate through that lower bit there. Take it nice and slow. Well done. We're going to come up and do 1 more. So if we were V-shaping with the feet, bring the feet now back in line with the hips. Arms stay up towards the ceiling. Anchor those shoulders down. Inhale breath, we're going to imprint the spine, lift the spine up from the floor. Weight's going through the heels here. I want you to imagine you're balancing 2 cups of water on the knees. The knees are going to stay nice and steady. We're just going to rock. So we're going to slightly release off through one glute and then squeeze the hip back up towards the ceiling. So it's a release and a squeeze. So it's slightly rocking like a ship. Exhale, squeeze. So it's a release and squeeze, release and squeeze. Keep the water in those cups on the knee. So we're not wobbling around with the knee. Let's go for 2 more to each side. 1. And last one, squeezing both hips towards the ceiling. We're going to float the arms behind the head. And then take an inhale breath as we exhale. I want you to really lengthen the spine down along the mat. 1 vertebrae at a time, just leaving the arms behind the head. And when that bottom touches the floor, you can come up to neutral and then just bring the knees in. Grab hold of the knees. Really try to pull the knees out towards the shoulders. Just lengthen those glutes back out again. Have a little rock from side to side there. We're then going to come up into seated. So we just grab hold behind the knees, hugging the knees in towards the chest and just rolling up into seated if we can. And we're going to work some half roll-ups now. So again for this one, we're going to keep the abdominals nice and short. So the knees are going to stay bent for this one. So we're sat on the sit bones. I want you to, again, bring the arms out level with the shoulders. Elbows nice and soft for this one though. And then again, we're going to tilt that pelvis. So shortening the abdominals, rolling onto the back of the sit bones. We're going to come down to that point, keeping that nice C curve into the spine, where you feel that the heels want to lift up from the floor. Take an inhale breath as we exhale, keeping that C shape into the spine. We're coming back up and just slightly reaching over the knees, keeping that C shape. Remember the next part of the spine as well. Just keep the neck in line with the spine. So we're rolling back over the sit bones, down to that point when we feel the heels want to lift. Inhale breath, exhale it, come back up. Just leaning over the knees. it, lovely. Keeping those abdominals nice and short. And back. Let's just do a couple more. Exhaling as we come back. Inhale as we get to that point, and then exhale, bring it back in and over the knees. On this next one, we're going to stay in half roll down. And the core's going to stabilize us here. We're going to bring one arm up towards the ceiling, just making it a little bit harder on the core, and then bring the arm back down. So it's an exhale, lift, one arm only, that's it. Inhale, lower. Let's keep that going. Exhale it up. Inhale down. Exhale it up. Let's do one more to each side. Tummy should be screaming at us now. Exhale up. We all know it's coming next. We're going to try with both arms. So lifting both arms, and we're just going to hold it for 3, 2, shaking, and 1. Bring the arms back level with the shoulders. We're going to roll it back up and lean it over the knees. Bring the head between the knees and just relax the abdominals for a second. Well done. Nice deep breath. And then we're just going to work a little bit of oblique work while we are seated. So we're going to lengthen up through the spine, sat nice and tall on the sit bones. Bring the arms out in front again, level with the shoulders. Roll it onto the back of the sit bone, so pelvic tilt. We're going to halfway roll down as we bend through the elbow and reach the back corner of the mat. Tap, bend through the elbow and back up to center. So lengthening in the center this time. Rolling it down halfway, elbow bends. Again, remember to really bring that rib over towards the opposite hip. Tap. So it's not just the arms that are moving, we are rotating through that thoracic spine. So it's a twist, tap, back, and back in the center. Exhale, roll it down, and twist it through. Let's go for one more on each side. And back to center. Last one. One more to each side. Sorry, I know I've just said that. Let's just do an extra one. And reach. Back to center. Lengthening. In the center. Bring the chest in towards the knees. Grab hold of the feet. Relax the head down. Quick breather. We're then going to focus on a little bit of a 30-second stretch with the legs. So grabbing hold of the feet, nice closed stretch. We're going to start to walk the feet out, lengthening through the legs. So going as far as we can, as far as the hamstrings will allow. For some of us, we can get the legs completely straight. For those that can't, keep that little bend into the knee there. And we're just going to spend 30 seconds either trying to straighten the legs on that exhale breath. So inhale, as we exhale, just try to go a bit deeper into that stretch. If we have got completely straight legs, focus on just bringing that chest down towards the knees on the exhale breath. Inhale, exhale. So you can go a little bit deeper into that stretch, feeling it down the back of the legs, all the way down that posterior chain, down the spine. Let's just do a couple more breaths. And let's hold it here for 3, 2, and 1. And release. Well done. We're then going to come down into side lying, I think. Yeah, side lying. We're going to focus on a bit of glutes now. So coming down to the side. Head relaxed down to the arm, preferably to keep nicely aligned. If you're a bit like me, I kind of keep my head up so I can see everybody. So hips are stacked one on top of the other. I want you to imagine we've got a Malteser underneath this side of the waist. We don't want that Malteser to melt. So we're going to keep that waist up from the mat. Core switched on. We're going to lengthen the legs out into one nice straight line and then just bring them slightly in front of the body. So we're kind of a bit banana shaped here. We're just going to take it up for simple leg raises to begin with, keeping those hips as still as we can. So we're going to exhale as we lift up that top leg, not too high, and then inhale it back down. So hips stay nice and still. Exhale, lift, and inhale, lower. That's it. Keeping that Malteser from melting. So really check in with that waist. Make sure it's not falling down into the floor. Stabilizing through the pelvis. That's it, nice. Slow and controlled. So we've got gravity helping us on the way down here. So I want you to visualize we've got a big fitness ball between the legs. We're wanting to squeeze down on that ball as we bring the leg down, just to engage through those inner thighs as well. So exhale it up. Inhale, squeeze that leg back down, keeping the core lifted. Let's go for one more. And last one. Exhale, lift. We're then going to make a rainbow with this top leg. So we're going to bring the leg down to the front, tap, and then back up and back over. Don't worry if we're not reaching the floor at the back, it's absolutely fine. So up and over, nice control, semicircle, keeping that Malteser nice and cool there underneath the waist. And that's it. So it's an up and over tap, up and over tap. Let's go for 3 more semicircles. 1, 2, and last one, bringing that leg up and over. Nice, well done. We're then going to bring the leg back and we're going to flex through the ankle of the top leg. So the foot should be parallel to the floor. So we don't want to be turning the foot up. We want the foot to be parallel to the floor. We're going to pulse, some small baby pulses. Keep that waist lifted. We're going to go for 8 more breaths. 7, 6, nice deep breaths. 5, nearly there. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the foot down. Well done. Bend through the knee. Give the bottom a good rub, whatever you need to do, punch. So we worked side of the bottom there. We're now going to work glute max, so the big muscle in the bottom. So we're going to come down onto our front for this one, working the same leg again. So coming down to the front, the leg that we've just been lifting up in the air, I should have told you to lay on the right or left side. We're going to bring the elbows under the shoulders, sliding that top leg with the glute that hurts basically, out. And we're going to work glute max now. So hips stay facing the floor. We're going to exhale as we lift, keeping that spine in neutral, so no arching through the lower back. Inhale, lower. Exhale, squeeze that leg up, squeeze the bottom. Inhale, lower it back down. That's it. Keep it going, keeping that spine nice and strong. Tummy, button, up towards the spine. Keep that engagement in the core. Keep those shoulders away from the ears. Let's go for 3 more. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lower. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lower. Exhale, we're going to squeeze that leg up. Now we're going to bend through the knee, flex through the foot, and we're going to push the ceiling away. We're going to go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Bring the knee down, underneath the hip. Have a little sit back into the heels there. Lengthen that glute back out. And then just to add a little bit of insult to injury, I'm going to do another little exercise with you, working the same glute again. So that leg that we've just been lifting up, we're going to come up into a standing kneel. bringing that leg out in front. So heels directly underneath the knee. I want you to push the weight through this front heel and just slightly lifting up through the other leg and then back down. Just exhale up and lower. Try not to lift up try not to cheat by using that foot to lift you up. Really push that weight through that front heel and lower it back down. You should feel that in the glute, in the quads of that front leg. That's level 1. Level 2, we can come all the way up into standing toe tap and then all the way back down. So we're only going to do 5 more. Choose your level. So it's an exhale, lift, inhale, back down. Level 1, we're just lifting that knee up and lowering it back down. Let's go for 3 more. Tap and lower. Last 2. Nice one. And back down. Last one. Tap and back down. Well done. We're going to come back and do the same on the other side now. So one nice straight line to begin with. Hips are stacked. Pop that Malteser underneath the waist. Bring those legs out in front. So hips are stacked, core switched on. We're taking it up for single leg raise. So remember, not too high. Keep everything facing the front, the knee, the top of the foot, and lower. Exhale it up again. Imagine that big ball between the legs as we really press down on that ball. Perfect. Let's keep that going. Starting to warm up through the side of that bottom. So we've worked all the way around the hips. So we work the hip flexors with our scissors at the beginning when we're doing our ab exercises. Working side of the bottom, and then we go down onto our front, so working that big muscle in the bottom. So we worked all the way around the hip. Let's go for 3. Check in with the waist. 2. And 1. Nice, we're going to hold the leg up. We're going to do our semicircles now. So it's a little tap down to the front, up and over, tap down at the back. Don't worry if we're not getting all the way down to the floor though. Perfect, good. Slow control, so we're not just flying the leg over. Last 3. 1. 2. Ouch. That's more on this side. 3. We're going to bring the leg up. We're going to flex through that ankle and pulse it. Nearly there. We're going for 8 breaths. 7, 6, 5. Smile. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Bring the feet together. Bring that knee out in front. Give the bottom a good rub. And then with that leg that we've just been working, we're going to work the big muscle in the bottom. So coming down onto our fronts again, coming up onto the elbows. So the elbows are underneath the shoulders. Shoulders are away from the ears. We're going to lengthen that leg away, fully extended that leg, core switched on. We're not moving those hips anywhere as we exhale. Squeeze the bottom, inhale, lower it back down. Almost reach through the heel here. Exhale, really lengthen the leg, engage through that quad too. Inhale, lower. Nice. Keep the neck in line with the spine, so gaze stays down towards the floor. Imagine that spirit level across the lower back. Let's go for 3. 2. and leg stays up. On this last one, we're going to bend through the knee, flex through the foot. Imagine we're balancing a cup of coffee on the sole of the foot there, and then exhale, squeeze the heel up towards the ceiling. We're going to go for 8 ceiling pushes. 7, try to really push that heel up. 5, 6, sorry, can't count. 5, 4, 3, nearly there. 2, perfect, nice. 1, brilliant, Linda. And bring the knee down. Well done. Have a little sit back into the heels. Whew. And then coming up into standing kneel. We're just going to do the same again on this side. So the leg that we've just been lifting, we're going to bring out in front. So then if the heel is directly underneath the knee, toes stay tucked underneath there. We're going to take an inhale breath as we exhale. We're pushing the weight through this front heel as we lift that knee up from the floor. And then inhale, lower. So it's exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Level 1. Level 2, we're coming all the way up. Tap the toe and then control it back down. So it's a lift, tap, and control it back down. Or just a little knee raise there. Whichever level you're doing, we're going to go for 4 more. 1, 2, 3, lovely Elaine. And last one, 4. And back down. Bring both knees down onto the floor. Have a little sit back into those heels. Lengthen the arms away. Hold that pose for a few seconds. Just lengthen those glutes back out. Well and truly worked glutes there. So now we're going to work a bit of spine extension. We're going to start from kneeling because quite often everybody's very tight around the chest, which lengthens the muscles around the spine, the thoracic spine. So standing kneel, we're going to go find our neutral pelvis. So slightly tucking the tailbone under. You should feel a little bit of a stretch down the front of the hips there. We're going to bring the hands to the side of the head. And I just want you to take the gaze up towards the ceiling without arching through that lower back. So we're just opening up through the chest and we're just going to hold it here. So we're working the extensor muscles around the spine, especially the top of the spine here. We're going to hold it for 3, 2, keeping those elbows out to the side so we can't see them in our peripheral vision. And 1, bring it back to center again, back to neutral. We're going to go again. Inhale breath as we open up the chest. Take the gaze up to the ceiling. Body will follow. Elbows right out to the side. Keep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Core stay switched on. Really opening up across the chest and working those back muscles. And then bring it back. We're just going to do 1 more of those. You should start to feel that in the upper spine, across the shoulder blades. Last one. So inhale, take the gaze up towards the ceiling. Elbows out to the side so we can't see them. Tailbone stays tucked under. Try not to arch through that lower back. Nice deep breath. Let's hold it for 3 more breaths. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Hips are getting a nice stretch as well here. And then bring it back to center. Well done. Have a little roll around there. Oh, somebody has to get that side. Let's take it into a little bit of teaser practice now. Just have a couple of minutes of that and then we'll have a nice stretch out. So we're going to come down onto the sit bones. This time, nice neutral spine, so nice tall spine here. Sat right, really high on the sit bones, crown of the head towards the ceiling. We're going to then lean backwards. So we're rolling to the back of the sit bones, but not arching through the spine on this one. Let me just bring my camera down so you can see. So it's a lean back. So spine stays nice and tall, chest stays nice and proud. So we're really working the spine extensors there. And then we're just going to bring the legs one at a time up into tabletop position. So we've created a V shape with the body. So spine's working really hard, hip flexors are working really hard. We're going to bring the arms out level with the shoulders, and then level one, we're going to tap and tap, but try to keep that spine nice and tall so we're not rounding, we're straightening. So it's a tap and a tap. Level two, teaser, we're just going to concentrate on lengthening out through the legs and holding that position. Nice, Jill. It's harder than it looks. That's it. If it's too much, just go back to bent leg, tap, or just even holding that pose. So level two, we're going to straighten through those legs, concentrate on opening up the chest, lengthening through the spine. We're going to hold it here for 3 more breaths. 2 and 1. Bring the feet down towards the floor, roll it in over the legs. Take a quick breather. Well done. Let's stretch off. Whew. So let's roll it down to the floor. Nice and tall on those sit bones, bending through the knee, hips, feet level with the hips. Inhale, breath here as we exhale, pelvic tilt, round off through the spine as we slowly place the spine 1 vertebrae at a time, down, down, down. As controlled as we can onto the floor. Oh, nice. Bring the arms behind the head, lengthen out through the legs, and just really lengthen through the front of the body. So lift the spine up from the floor. Imagine somebody's pulling hands and feet in opposite directions. Have a little circle of wrists and ankles as well here. And then we're going to bring the arms out to the side, palms facing up towards the ceiling. Feet come up onto the floor. Tuck that tailbone under and pop the feet, step the feet to one side of the mat. So nice and wide through the legs. We're going to roll the knees in one direction, rolling the head in the opposite direction. Really try to draw the knees as close to the floor as we can. Feel that stretch into the hip. Try to keep the hips as close to the floor as well, so we're not rotating the spine. Nice deep breath, really breathing into the bottom of the lungs, side of the lungs, stretch out across the rib cage. And then back through the center and over to the other side. Rolling the head away from the knees, keeping the hips as close to the floor as we can, bringing the knees as close to the floor as we can. And then bring it back to center. Bringing the feet back onto the floor. We're then going to bring the right leg up into tabletop position. Sliding the left leg away, leaving the arms out to the side, but then bringing the left hand to the outside of the right knee. And we're just going to roll, we're going to pull that knee across the body. So we are rotating this time, keeping the shoulder blades down on the floor as we just rotate through that lower spine. Nice deep breaths. And then bring it back to center again. Same on the other side, so just pop that foot down, bringing the left leg up into tabletop position, left arm out to the side, palm facing up, slide that right leg away, hand to the outside of the knee as we roll, pull the knee over, keep the shoulder blades to the floor. Nice stretch into the glute there as well. back to center again. Taking it out into a full body stretch. Nice inhale breath as we lift the spine up from the floor. And then bringing the arms up towards the ceiling. Start to push the spine down into the floor. We're going to roll up into seated position. So anchor the shoulders. Inhale breath as we exhale. Chin to chest. Start to peel the spine up. Use the elbow if you need to there. Sit it nice and tall. Reach for the ceiling. We're going to widen out through the legs now. And reach it as far forward as we can. Lead with the chest. Feel that really nice stretch into the hips there. Bring the hands all the way down to the floor. Try to relax into that one. And then just walking the hands back up towards the body, rolling that spine back up. We're then going to bring the feet, we're going to cross the legs now and just leaning over the legs. So again, leading with the chest, spine's nice and tall. We're going to lean in over the legs and reach down to the floor. So again, we're trying not to round off through the spine, keeping the spine as nice, as tall as we can. So the leg that's in the front of this cross position, if it's your right leg, if you feel a nice stretch into the right glute there, I'm going to hold it there for a couple more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. And then we're going to cross the legs, bringing the other foot to the front, doing exactly the same thing again, which feels a bit funny. So again, nice and tall through the spine, and just lean in. So you should feel a nice stretch into the other glute there. And then bring it back to center. Well done. Staying with crossed legs, I'm going to bring the right hand out. You can put the comfortable cross now if you like. That felt a bit odd. We're going to bring the right hand to the outside of the left knee. Hands behind the body, fingers pointing away. I'm just going to twist, rotating, looking over that back shoulder. Okay, try to keep the spine nice and tall for this one. Try not to hunch. And then bring it back to center. Same on the other side. Right hand, left knee. Left hand behind. And then just push into that knee as we just look over the shoulder. And bring it back to center. Lovely, well done. Coming onto our knees now. We're going to take it into our cat stretch. So wrists are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Sorry, I have slightly overrun, but we're nearly done. Inhale, breath. Elbows stay nice and soft as we exhale. Chin comes towards the chest. Tuck the tailbone under. Scoop the tummy button up. Nice deep breaths at the top as well. Really feel the rib cage expand. And then just start to slowly bring it down through neutral. Gently squeeze the shoulder blades together, really stick out the bottom, and just take the gaze to about 1 meter in front of the hands, just the end of your mat there. And let's take it back up into our cat stretch again. So scooping up the tummy button, tucking that tailbone under, chin towards the chest. And slowly lowering down again. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Let the head just follow the line of the spine. And then we're going to take it back to our neutral spine again. So lengthening through the spine, turning those toes underneath. We're going to come up into a little knee hover. Take an inhale breath to prepare as we exhale, hover the knees. And then we're going to roll the weight back over the foot, over the heels, keeping the knees nice and soft, pushing the floor away. This is where we can lengthen out through the legs now, push the floor away with the hands, head through the arms. You can have a little pedal here. You can try and ease those heels down into the floor, get that lovely stretch into the calf. And then keeping knees soft, we're just going to walk the hands back towards the feet, rolling the weight back onto the feet again, returning to that block position, hopefully a little bit closer to the floor than at the beginning of class. Relaxing through the head, neck and shoulders. Take a nice deep inhale breath as we exhale. Peel the tummy away from the thighs. Scoop the tummy button up towards the spine and just start to roll it slowly back up and back out. And again, when you reach the top, a few nice big shoulder rolls just to bring those shoulders down and back.